Greetings, brothers and sisters. Happy Juneteenth. As my wife stated, I'm Gabriel Praw, past president. I'm also a past president of ILWU Local 52. That's the kind of union Scott Reed was talking about. Today, Labor honors Juneteenth. Freedom is at the roots of the United States of America. Almost all of us get together with friends and family every year on the 4th of July, when America celebrates liberation from British rule. But that was not the case for black people. Sadly, they were not even recognized as human in 1776, when this country declared its independence. Freedom was far from equally applied standards for everyone. No, after over 150 years, African Americans have their good reason to celebrate Juneteenth. It's a yearly celebration of the liberation of enslaved black people. Juneteenth is short for June 19th. And on commemoration of the day of 1865, when General Gordon Granger led Union troops into the city of Galveston, Texas to assume control of the state and free the enslaved black people. Look around you right now. This is what a Union army looks like. A Union troops look like right here. This is the modern day Union troops. Now I want to pose the question to you. Why should labor fight white supremacy? It's not a tough answer. The answer is because it's in our class interests.
That's right.
To not do so allows the ruling class and others to divide us, the working class, by race, color, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, religion, and so forth. Can you have capitalism without racism? You can read that in Edward Baptist's book. The half is a story that has never been told. It provides an answer to the question, African were truthfully the bloody foundation of capitalism. The major commodities in the world were cotton, sugar, and tobacco. This was the foundation of capitalism. It's perpetuated and it's exemplified through its racism, exploitation, and white privilege. From the beginning, Harry Bridges understood the meanings of black life, and Harry Bridges was the founder of the ILWU. Going back to 1934, the West Coast Maritime Strike. The reason for the strike was because of the workers' coastwide demands. They were collective bargaining for an end to working around the clock and demanding for 6-hour workday. The most revolutionary demand of all was the right for workers to control the iron ore. Before this, we had what was called the shape-up. At the time, the bosses were using black workers to continue to generate profit. They brought non-union black workers to cross the picket line. Labor leader Harry Bridges reached out to the black leaders and religious leaders. One of those labor leaders was C.L. Dellums, vice president of the Sleeping Car Porters Union, the union that was organized by A. Philip Randolph. Harry made an appeal for them to be allowed to speak in the black churches. That today is labor we call the pulpit. During the strike, when black workers held their labor, it helped black workers win the strike. Harry had promised that if black workers held back their labor in solidarity with the strikers, that when they won, black workers will be welcomed into the unions, and he kept his promise. As you can see, I'm here, and many of us are here. Racial unity was the key to strike success, and that became the guiding principle of the union. Bridges started to form that if only 2 longshore workers were left, one will be black and the other will be white. The ILWU Constitution opposed racism in all other forms of discrimination. In 1943, Paul Robeson became an honor member of the ILWU. In 1967, 6 months before he was assassinated, Dr. Martin Luther King became an honorary member of ILWU Local 10. The ILWU has been one of the most socially conscious unions in the labor movement. They shut down all 29 posts on the West Coast when Dr. King was assassinated. But no one of the biggest things that I will never forget happened. In 2020, when the world watched live execution of George Floyd, the execution of Breonna Taylor and the many other unarmed black workers and community members being killed. On June 9, 2020, the day of George Floyd's funeral, the ILA, the Teamsters, and the ILWU put down their tools for 8 minutes and 56 seconds to honor George Floyd. After that, a meeting was called. All ILWU presidents in all 29 ports on the West Coast and 2 in Canada were present, including myself. During the discussion, there was a vote for the ILWU to take the monthly stock work meeting in 2020 to commemorate the end of slavery in America. This led to a strike against white supremacy, demonstrating the power of the working class, the civil rights, labor rights, the same fight. All of the history in this is in the book by Clarence Thomas. You can read it. It is detailed. And that book is called Mobilizing in Our Own Name. The closer rank of, and I'm going to make a statement for Harry Bridges. The closer rank and file workers get to the public, the more support the public will give to the organized labor. Such close communication will make it apparent to those outside the ranks of labor that a community of interest lies between them. Every effort to split the rank of labor and split the public, the majority of who are workers themselves, to keep workers from the organized brothers and sisters must fail. People must realize that what hurt organized workers hurt unorganized workers, and it's dangerous for small business as well. We must work hard all times to place our case before the people, how we live, what we earn, what we aspire to for our children, for those are also the aspiration and life of the people. An injury to one is an injury to all. And this was taken from my yearly book from ILWU Local 32. I would like to close with a quote from A. Philip Randall. Freedom is never granted, it is won. Justice is never given, it is exalted. I want you to share this last remark with me. And when I say workers, you say power. Workers! Power! Workers! Power! Workers! Power! When I say union, you say power. Union! Power! Union! Power! Union! Power! Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Give it up one more time for Gabriel Prawl.